Ukrainian Special Operations Forces destroyed the radar of a Russian S-300 air defense system at the Saky airfield in occupied Crimea over the weekend, the military reported. Radars serve as the eyes of an air defense system. Without them, anti-aircraft units are effectively blind and unable to operate. The strike took place overnight on August the 30th, with the Crimean Wind Telegram channel reporting explosions and a fire near the base the same day. As a result of the actions taken, the radar for the S-300 complex was destroyed at the military airfield in the village of Saky. The Special Operations Forces said in a statement, "The S-300 is a Soviet-designed long-range surface-to-air missile system that remains central to Russia's layered air defense. Its radar units provide early warning, target tracking, and guidance for interceptors against aircraft, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles." The Saky airbase, located in western Crimea, is a key hub for Russian operations in the Black Sea. It previously served as a base for Ukrainian naval aviation before Russia's occupation of Crimea in 2014. Kiev has stepped up strikes on Russian military assets in the occupied peninsula. Ukrainian military intelligence reported on August the 28th the destruction of a Russian 91N6E radar, part of the S-400 system. Recently in Crimea, Phantom's Special Forces unit of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine struck the Utyos-T radar system, the RT-70 radio telescope, the GLONASS dome complex, the MR-10M1 MISS airborne radar, and 96L6 AP radar of the Russian S-400 missile system. The DIU's Phantoms Special Forces continue a systematic process of destroying the Russian occupation forces' air defense system in Crimea. Here is a fresh list of high-value targets hit: Utyos-T radar, RT-70 radio telescope, GLONASS dome complex, MR-10M1 MISS radar, 96L6 AP radar of the S-400 missile system, the DIU reported. Earlier, Ukrainian open-source investigators have confirmed that a drone operated by the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine had successfully struck a Russian radar belonging to the cutting-edge S-500 air defense system in temporarily occupied Crimea. The radar system underwent state trials in 2020 to 2021 and, according to open sources, was officially adopted into service in April 2021. The Russians claim that the core of the 96L6E Yenisei radar is a multi-element, active electronically scanned array with a high level of resistance to jamming. It is capable of detecting and tracking both aerodynamic and ballistic targets at ranges of up to 600 kilometers and altitudes of up to 100 kilometers. Target data is transmitted to a command post for further use by other air defense components. Externally, the new Yenisei radar resembles the Russian 96L6E radar. It is also mounted on a 4-axle MZKT chassis and has a similar layout. On the platform, it features a fully rotatable antenna unit and an equipment container.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin met on the sidelines of a regional summit in China on Monday in a show of deepening ties when New Delhi's relations with Washington are strained over the purchase of Russian oil. According to Associated Press, the two leaders held talks after attending the key session of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization gathering in the port city of Tianjin, where discussions focused on regional stability and bilateral cooperation. In his remarks opening the talks, Putin addressed Modi as a dear friend and hailed Moscow's ties with New Delhi. Russia and India have maintained special relations for decades. Friendly, trusting. This is the foundation for the development of our relations in the future, Putin said. These relations are absolutely nonpartisan in nature, supported by the overwhelming majority of the peoples of our countries, he added. Modi used the meeting to welcome the peace initiatives aimed at halting the conflict between Russia and Ukraine and called on the stakeholders to move forward constructively. At the talks, Putin was accompanied by a large delegation that included top government officials. Russian state media reported that before sitting down for the formal dialogue, Putin and Modi spoke one-on-one for almost an hour in Oris, a high-end, Russian-made limousine that Putin regularly brings on foreign trips. The meeting carried added significance as it came days after U.S. President Donald Trump imposed an additional 25% tariffs on Indian imports, raising the total duties to a steep 50%, in retaliation to India's continued purchases of discounted Russian oil. Washington has repeatedly warned New Delhi against buying Russian crude, which it said was partly keeping Moscow's revenues afloat to fund the fighting in Ukraine. India has defended its imports as essential for meeting its growing energy needs of 1.4 billion people. Modi traveled to Russia twice last year. The first was a visit to Moscow for talks with Putin in July. He then traveled to Kazan in October for the summit of the BRICS bloc of developing economies. Russia has had strong ties with India since the Cold War, and New Delhi's importance as a key trading partner has grown since the conflict between Moscow and Ukraine.
Декабря исполняется 15 лет со дня принятия совместного заявления, в котором отмечен выход наших отношений на уровень особого привилегированного стратегического партнерства. Налажено многоуровневое взаимодействие. Торгово-экономическая кооперация в целом демонстрирует положительную динамику. Развивается туристический обмен. Мы тесно координируем наши усилия на международной арене. Уважаемый господин премьер-министр, дорогой друг, Россия и Индия поддерживают десятилетиями особые отношения. Дружеские, доверительные. Это фундамент для развития наших отношений в будущем. И эти отношения носят абсолютно внепартийный характер, поддерживаются подавляющим большинством народов наших стран.
एक्सेलेंसी, ये हमारे स्पेशल एंड प्रिविलेज स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप की गहराई और व्यापकता का परिचायक है। कठिन से कठिन परिस्थितियों में भी भारत और रूस हमेशा कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर चले हैं। हमारा करीबी सहयोग न केवल दोनों देशों के लोगों के लिए बल्कि वैश्विक शांति, स्थिरता और समृद्धि के लिए महत्वपूर्ण है।
Это свидетельствует о том,